wait. Headset's above my head. Can you hear me? All right, all right, all right. Good, good. All right, we're good. What's up, everybody? It's late night with SideboardMTG. I'm your host, Eric, and we're going to be talking about some Ravnica spoilers. Yeah, it's midnight, so, don't expect this to be... don't expect this to be anything. Hang out with us. Let's talk about some spoilers. Let's have some fun. Let's see what's going on. We'll do some speculating on what we think is going to be good versus what's not going to be great, and we'll kind of go from there. Hopefully you guys can read everything. Maybe I can zoom in just a bit. I don't want to zoom in so much so that they go off. There we go. Whoa, too much. About 125 there. There we go. Alright, so hopefully you guys will be able to read those without us having to actually go over to the other screen and stuff like that. Should be usable. So, you just brewed up your first mono blue meal and your mono red goblins deck for standard after rotation. Not perfect, but you do like what you got going on. Well, that sounds great. Let me get my seat pulled up here. We'll get all comfortable, right? Sit back, relax, chill. Okay. Well, where do we start? I guess we start with saying, welcome, Warlock Lightning, Madness, Barry Drake. Barry! Thank you, sir. Barry says, happy birthday, SideboardMTG. You're a good man, a great husband of Val, and an even better father. You play nice... you play a nice game of MTG too. Well, thank you, Barry. I appreciate that, man. You did not have to do that. The one thing I just wanted for my birthday was everyone come out, hang out with me tomorrow night while we just kind of goof off, play some Momir and stuff like that. But thank you very much. I 100% appreciate it. That is awesome of you, sir. Absolutely awesome. But anyway, we're going to talk about some spoilers here. There's one that's kind of got my eye right off the bat. Exile target artifact or exile target enchantment or both. So that one's pretty cool. Crush Contraband. What do you guys think? What's one of the new spoilers that have you guys thinking this is probably going to get some play? I think Demolition here might get some play. Enchant creature can't block and its activated abilities can't be activated. Or was this when the Scarab guy was just ripping us apart, right? My goodness. So, one of the things I still have to think about is the original way that these were all laid out, where Wizards was expecting Amonkhet and Hour of Devastation to stay in the meta until the end of Guilds of Ravnica, and Guilds of Ravnica was originally going to be like a two-part set, so I'm curious how the third part of Guilds of Ravnica is going to lay out. But so you'll see, I believe we're going to see some cards that were meant to combat Hour of Devastation and Amonkhet block, because like those were supposed to be together, and then everything kind of changed and stuff like that. So yeah, oh my goodness, the target creature gets +3/+3. Target creature gets +3/+3, or you could just have one target creature get +9/+9, right? Well, okay, so the way rotation happened was originally, like, for years we had the rotation of every October things rotate out. There were the core sets and things like that, and then they actually did away with the core sets, and they were going to do it. They were going to have 3 blocks, and then they were going to rotate, and 3 blocks and rotate, and 3 blocks and rotate. And they were going to start doing something along those lines. Maybe it was 2 blocks and a rotate out a block, or something like that. But we were going to have rotation a lot more often, and people didn't like that. So they ended up going back to that, and that's when we got stuck with Kaladesh and Aether Revolt block being stuck in our meta for so long. Like, one of the things we all hated was energy mechanics sticking around when it shouldn't have, and things like that. And that's kind of why, and that's why they have tried to work through this whole thing. Oh, thanks, Val, and welcome, Valentine. Glad you could be here. That's awesome. But thank you so much. You are an absolutely terrific wife. I love you so much. Just put a little extra love in and my cupcakes, right? We're going to be so happy. Barry, I did read that where you said your first cake was angel food cake. And I like angel food cake. I like it if it's cooked nice and it's you know, that got that soft spongy texture. Yeah, I like angel food cake as the base for strawberry shortcake. So yeah. You're usually here lurking in the shadows. That's a rogue for you guys. That's a rogue. All right. So you guys got something you want to look at other than the? Well, I mean, I guess we can go to the enchantment. We need to pull these up by color. How do I do that? So we want to see the. We want to see all the Guilds of Ravnica spoilers. Look at these. Get rid of this stuff. Close the ads. I don't want new spoilers. I want. There we go. That's what I want. Right there. Bam. Alright, so we get the rares on top. Then we get to kind of work our way down through that if we want. What do you guys think about these lockets? Right? Do you think the lockets will get any play? Me pay 4 mana, sacrifice some, draw a card. What? What just happened? I accidentally clicked a locket. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to click a locket. Only let you do it by guild for this set for some reason, as far as you can see. That's fine. I mean, they've got it. They've got everything listed by rarity and stuff like that. So, we can. I guess I can go through and find whatever we're looking for. Maybe I pull up MTG Salvation. Really? That's not a Google search. Make this. Oh goodness. That's how the Chromatic Lantern on the other. That's back, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Chromatic Lantern is back. That's going to be a thing. I'm thinking the mana bases are going to be quite good anyway. So we're probably going to have some serious, you know, 3, 4 color decks, maybe even some 5 color decks. Even Google knows it's my birthday. What? Were they doing birthday celebration? Right? Forward. Error 404. Right. We have the complete Guilds of Ravnica if we go over to MTG Salvation. So that should be pretty cool. I like this website, MTG Salvation. They have come a long way. And they'll let us do colorless, white, blue, black, red. Like, we can sort here, so. And then they are automatically sorted by color, so. Is it Counterburn deck looks good? It, you know, I'm actually looking forward to the Is it Counterburn? Did they really? They had birthday candles on the logo? I've got to pull up Google now. It is. There we go. Happy birthday, SideboardMTG. Look at that. Well, thanks, Google. So sweet. Still trying to pull this up. Close that. Alright. So, I've clicked colorless. Come on. Aw, don't do me like this. Don't make it like this. Yeah, if I point to it, it actually says Happy Birthday SideboardMTG. So, that's cool. Google knows everything, right? We won't have the Locust God for Is It stuff, but we have Niv Mizzet. We have Niv Mizzet. Why isn't it showing? I guess I should go Artifact. Maybe that's what I need to do. So there's no like just colorless. So these are, is this it? These are the artifacts we have to work with. We're going to have Chamber Sentry, which that's one that I actually think's pretty cool. I do like the X-Cost construct. I don't think it's actually going to be that good, but I like it. I like the idea of it. I mean, you're not cheating it in. We're not going to have Metallic Mimic or anything like that, right? Skynet. Google is Skynet, guys. So, we've also got Chromatic Lantern. You guys are talking about Chromatic Lantern. Like, what do you guys think the impact of Chromatic Lantern is going to be on the format? Like, how good is that going to be? Boom! Birthday boss. Unfortunately, Barry's not hurt. Yeah. Sorry, Aiden. It was trickery. It was trickery. But you did fix it. Like, you just naturally fixed it. I wish that worked better, but it is. You think it's just an enabler? Well, I think it's definitely going to enable some really cool stuff. I mean, lands you control can tap for any color. It's going to be a reprinting. A lot of people are really going to like Lantern is a thing. So the fact that Chromatic Lantern is going to get, you know, a reprint, that's probably not bad. So I mean, that's probably going to be pretty good. What if we had Niv Mizzet and the Locust God? Whoa. Just wow, right? That would be mind-blowing. Chromatic Lantern's probably going to be pretty good. Gatekeeper Gargoyle enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each gate you control. Do you guys think the gates are going to, like, there's going to be a gate deck? Like, how many Gates Matters cards do we have, right? Glaive, and again, I don't think that the Gates decks are going to be a thing until, like, maybe the third block of Ravnica, because like, first off, you're going to need all of the gates, right? You think the gates are a trap, right? Well, there used to be some, you know, Gates Matters decks, and there was the one that was pretty decent. You know, you get all 10 gates, or you get 10 gates on the battlefield, and then, like, you just win the game. So those things, yeah, that's what I believe, Rocker. I don't believe that the Gates Matters are going to be a thing until, like, the third block. And then again, there may be, like, it may be almost next October, and they print a card that says if you have, you know, 10 lands with different names, then you know, you win the game or something like that. Gates equal the new Hepatra. Oh yeah, that's a thing. Silent Dart. Pay 4, tap it, sacrifice Silent Dart. It deals 3 damage to target creature. I don't like that. Wand of Vertebrae. Put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Pay 2, tap it, and exile it. Shuffle up to 5 cards from your graveyard into your library. I don't know. Field of Ruins will be helpful still, 100%. Absolutely, that'll be helpful. Let's see. I don't think that there's anything else here other than Chromatic Lantern that's just going to be, you know, mind-blowing or something that is just has to be played or something. Chromatic Lantern is going to be in something. Like, somebody is going to run Chromatic Lantern. So, can we petition to call Gates trapdoors for now? He played a trapdoor. I actually like that. I'm sure we'll slip it in from time to time. 4 mana Rampaging Monument. Trample Rampaging Monument enters the battlefield with 3 +1/1 counters on it. When you cast a multicolored spell, put a +1/1 counter on Rampaging Monument. That might be playable, depending on how many multicolor, or do these count as multicolor cards? I think they do, don't they? So we've only got five of the hybrid mana spells, 1 for each of the guilds. So the Boros Guild has a 2 mana 2/1 as long as it's your turn. It has first strike, so it's a 2/1 with first strike for 2. The card's probably not that bad. It is a human soldier. I think that we're going to see a lot of soldiers. Like there looks like there's going to be like this Naya soldier / angels deck coming into play. I think that that's going to be pretty cool. For the Izzet Guild, they get a 3 mana, 2 hybrid and 2 hybrid Izzet and 1 generic. You get a 4/3 defender, and if you cast an instant or sorcery, it can attack as though it didn't have a defender. I actually like this as a defender because it actually has some power. So they can't just swing into your defender going, well, it can't block me, you know. How often do we swing 2 creatures into like a 1/3 because we know the 1/3 is not going to kill our 2 2/2s and we're still going to get in for, you know, 2 points of damage? Well, with Piston Fist Cyclops, like that's just not going to be a thing. So the fact that it can be blue colorless means we might see it in the Arcades deck. If the Arcades deck becomes a thing, I mean, it's a defender. It's probably one of the better defenders we have laying around right now. New cards are underrated. Hybrid is multicolored. Awesome, thank you. Someone stated Sentry could have some strange mentor synergy. Andrew and Rick, that's possible but you would have to like spend mana to keep removing stuff from it. I do like the idea of that. Like the Sentry may fit in somewhere in one of the mentor decks or something like that. So yeah, that might be a thing. Third motion carries that they are trapdoors. We could put a bunch of mentor counters on the Esper Dragon if we make it a 1/1. Is there going to be a good way to turn something into a 1/1 and have that happen before mentor? Like does like how can we turn things into 0/1s to get extra +1/1 counters on them? Right? Like does Workite Marauder, can you target your own creature with Workite Marauder? It's okay. It's okay. We can pull up anything in standard here. Sorry, I actually just opened a pack of Lorwyn cards, which was pretty cool. I've been hanging on to this little box of Lorwyn for a long time, and I got Jace Beleren, Chandra Nalaar, and Cryptic Command. I sold the Cryptic Command so that I can have some more tickets to play around with some stuff. But you know, we got like cool Ponder and stuff like that. Let me get off of this, and we'll go back to standard. And I'm gonna pull Workite Marauder real quick, and we'll see if Workite Marauder is one of those cards where we can. Do I have other things selected? No. All right, Workite Marauder. Target. Creature. Oh, okay, so it's defending player, so we can't even use Workite Marauder and put the triggers on the stack or anything like that. So that will not work. So I don't think we'll be able to. Like, I don't know any way that we're going to return to Lorwyn. Return to all the places, right? I want to go back to Phyrexia. I can't wait till we do a return to New Phyrexia. Like, maybe we'll start doing Karn's storyline. I think a lot of people would actually enjoy that. And we do Karn's storyline. Maybe the Weatherlight gets to where it can, you know, jump through, you know, the plains again, and we can start planeswalking with the Weatherlight, and the crew of the Weatherlight will be our new Gatewatch, and we'll follow them for a couple sets or something like that. Seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. So that would be a cool storyline if they took it that route. But Pitiless Gorgon is Golgari hybrid generic Death Touch 2/2. Might be playable. I don't know. And then we've got for the Selesnya, we got hybrid Selesnya and generic for a 2/2 with Vigilance. And then of course for the Dimir, we've got Dimir hybrid mana and colorless or generic for a 3/2 flash I love flash creatures. When it enters the battlefield, you get to surveil one. So, like, maybe that's not like the greatest thing in the world, but it would allow you to be aggressive or have maybe an ambush viper or something like that. Like, Ambush Viper was a really good card. I mean, we even see Snapcaster played as Ambush Viper from time to time. So that's our hybrid cards. Let's go over to multicolor cards, because here's where we have some really, really cool and fun stuff. So I guess, I mean, do we really need to even talk about Assassin's Trophy? Right? We all know that Assassin's Trophy is going to be absolutely terrific. Can I make this any bigger without it just going off? There we go. I think that's about the most we're going to be able to get out of it. So Assassin's Trophy, destroy target permanent and opponent controls. Now, you're not going to shoot your own stuff here. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle their library. So I definitely think that Assassin's Trophy is going to get some play. Like, that's going to be a thing. We're going to see that. That is going to get play. Just might as well get used to it. The Assassin's Trophy is going to be the new Fatal Push. It's going to be destroying whatever they want to destroy. There's like no restrictions on it. Make sure you run enough basic lands that they're not just wastelanding you with it or something. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be a thing. Artful Takedown, instant speed. Choose one or both. Tap target creature, or target creature gets -2, -4 until end of turn. 4 mana, instant speed. I don't think this would beat a Vraska's Contempt out. So I just don't really think that this is going to get a ton of play. It is a common. It's going to be probably a limited all-star. But you guys seem to be wanting to talk about Aurelia. Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice, Flying Mentor. At the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target creature you control. Until end of turn, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains Trample if it's red, and gains Vigilance if it's white. If it's red-white, it'll gain both. So, I mean, she can give it to herself, which will allow her to mentor more things. I guess if we're going to talk about the mentor ability, it's whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with less power. So the creature does have to attack with it. So I'm not really fond of the mentor ability. It looks like there's going to be some really cool stuff, but if you're not swinging in with another creature, you're not going to be getting a lot of mentor triggers there. So, and I don't even know if you're allowed to put the trigger on the stack if you don't already have. This would be at the beginning of combat though, so yeah, that would work. I don't know if it would work with creatures that say, you know, when this creature attacks, give another creature +2/+1 or something like that. So it may or may not work with, like, I'm guessing the only thing that I can really think of that would be the pirate, would be the Neckbreaker. You know, pirates you control, like when they're attacking, they're going to get this extra buff. Like, I don't think that you're going to be able to, like, even put this on the stack if you don't have something smaller or small enough. I don't know how that works. So, no trickiness to increase power after the trigger is on the stack. Well, you could let the trigger resolve, then maybe increase power or something like that. I'm sure there's still something in standard that's going to give a plus. So, maybe we'll see. Talik is the only real good mentor creature. Is that the one with haste? Because, like, I read the one with haste. I think Aurelia is going to be really good just because she's got flying. But again, you know, you're going to have to probably, like, put it on her before you can even swing with something. Otherwise, it's just kind of win more. Like, if you're just swinging with her and, like, a 1/1, Sure Strike got reprinted. That's actually really good. First Strike's amazing. I mean, can you imagine giving her First Strike with Sure Strike? Oh my goodness, like, you'd be able to, like, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. That would be probably pretty good. Yeah. Talik's got 5 power. Jeez. So he's going to be able to put it on just about anything. I'm sure we'll get to him in just a few. Beacon Bolt. Beacon Bolt deals damage to target creature equal to the total number of instant sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. That's probably going to be pretty good. I wish it was any target, but target creature, that works. I mean, it is sorcery, though, which, yeah, I ain't real fond of sorceries. We get a Vidalcan Wizard, 2 mana. So, is it colors for a 2/2 whenever you cast an instant or sorcery card that targets only Beam Spitter Mage. Only Beam Spitter Mage. You, if you control one or more other creatures that spell could target, choose one of those creatures, copy that spell, and the copy targets the chosen creature. So, that seems, Mentor's the new Exert. That makes sense. Exert had a couple, maybe even a few good cards, but as a mechanic in general, it was weak. Same for Mentor. I agree, Madness. I think that's probably a really fair assessment. So, yeah. Mini Zada. Exactly. Mini Zada. That's exactly what happens here. So, we were just talking about, giving Sure Strike to a creature. So, if you Sure Strike this, you're going to have a 5/2 with First Strike. And then you're also going to have something else with 5/2 and First Strike. So, a less powerful Zada. Well, I owned 4 Zadas and never even got them decked because Zada just wasn't that good. Good Exert cards: Glory Bringer, On-Crop Crasher, Pride Sovereign, Combat Celebrant, and Glory Bound Initiate. That sounds like the bulk of them, yeah. And I agree with you guys. Like, it just wasn't. I mean, out of all the Exert cards that there were really only the handful that got played. So, if we even get, 5 or 6 that are playable, I don't even know if we'll get 5 that are playable. If we get 2 or 3 that are playable, then maybe Mentor's something at least. So, Boros Angels will be a thing now, though. I'm definitely seeing a good Naya deck that is going to be producing some tokens and angels and things like that. I think that that's going to be a thing. You'd be surprised if Mentor is a real deck, but you think they will be there for some bonus. Like, that's a good creature, and the fact that it has that it gives your Adanto a +1/+1 is a happy coincidence. But Adanto's not a triggered ability. As soon as it's attacking, it has the buff. So you're going to have a really big Mentor to be able to give Adanto a +1/+1. So, I mean, yeah, I get where you're coming from with that. But you're going to have one heck of a Mentor creature to be able to give Adanto, because the other creature has to be attacking as well. So, I mean, maybe if there's a way that we can buff the Mentor creatures, then it's probably going to be pretty good. So, 2 mana, here's another Mentor, Boros Challenger. It has Mentor, so whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature with less power, but you can pay 4 mana. Oh my goodness, 4 mana to give it +1/+1 till end of turn. That's totally not worth it. It is worth it for the fact that we get a 2/3 for Boros Colors. However, if you just wanted to play the little dinosaur for Boros Colors, you could have a 3/3. I mean, it's got to attack every turn, but I mean, if you're trying to be aggressive, you probably want to attack every turn anyway. Camaraderie, 6 mana, you gain X life, you draw X cards, where X is the number of creatures you control, and creatures you control get +1/+1 till end of turn. So yeah, 4 likes. It's because everybody's talking, man. We're not worried about that. But welcome to the party, Randy. How you doing, buddy? But yeah, if you guys want to smash that like button, smash it. This is the Late Night Crew. This is just me after playing some Magic, hanging out with you guys. So I just don't care. I really don't. Like, I would love if these videos went viral or something like that, but no. I mean, this is just I'm not even worried about that. No shameless plugging or anything like that here. But manatraders will have all these cards. Oh darn. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist it after I said it. But yeah, hey, awesome, Randy. I'm glad that you could make it. Centaur Peacemaker, 3 mana, 3/3. When enters the battlefield, each player gains 4 life. I don't think. I mean, maybe. I mean, if I really need to gain some life, then maybe. I just don't really think that I mean, I guess against red deck, if you ever finally get in control, like against, you know, some aggressive decks or something, then you probably don't have to worry about how much life you let them gain. When you finally gain control of the game, you've got control of the game, and you're probably not going to lose. So Centaur Peacemaker might be great. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing or not, but whatever. Chance for Glory. Yes, yes. Okay, so Boros colors and a generic. For an instant speed, creatures you control gain indestructible. Take an extra turn after this one. At the beginning of that turn's end step, you lose the game. All right, well, the first thing that come to my mind was, how do we keep from, you know, like, getting to that end step? And, you know, Sundial of the Infinite comes to mind. There's a card that I think is actually rotating out that just ends the turn. And then beginning of that turn, like, you lose the game. If you were playing this in Mardu and you had a Lich's Mastery out, Lich's Mastery is going to basically, like, love this, because Lich's Mastery says you can't lose the game. So this will say you lose the game, but Lich's Mastery says you can't lose the game. So if you are playing Mardu and you're running Chance for Glory, that may be a thing, guys. I mean, that could be a thing. Glorious End, that's the one I was talking about. Absolutely, a Chance for glory, and then a Glorious End. That'd be possible, I guess, right? In before Saffron Olive plays Lich's Glory. Lich's Glory. Oh yeah, Saffron Olive is definitely going to be playing some Lich's Glory. Boros Prison and Modern. Chance for Glory is a replacement for Glorious End. Okay, that makes sense. There's already, like, that. There's people playing around with Lich's. Yeah, I guess, like, Saffron Olive did have a Mardu Lich's Glory master, right? Glorious End with. Yeah, that could be a thing. We might have to, like, watch out for this deck. This may become like the jank deck of the format right here, like the one that everybody's trying to toy around with. So, Cardinal Troll. This card actually looks good. It looks counterproductive for the deck that it's going to go in. But the card looks great. So we've got Golgari colors and a generic. You get a trample 4/4 for 3 mana. So we're already passing the vanilla test. All around pretty decent. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, put a +1/1 counter on Cardinal Troll. Otherwise, sacrifice it. So as long as you can keep feeding cards into your graveyard, and it's like the Scarab God. At the beginning of your upkeep, this trigger is going to go on the stack. With the trigger on the stack, you can pay 1 green, 1 black, and use his ability, his activated ability, to discard a creature card to put an additional +1/1 counter on him. So, did someone say jank? We love jank here, Barry. You know that, right? So there's probably going to be some Lich's Mastery jank deck where people are like, yeah, I can't lose the game, so I don't care that I lose the game. And every creature that's seen this gained indestructible. So there might be something going on there. As far as Cardinal Troll goes, like, we're looking at a 6/6 swinging on turn 4, boys. Like, that's swinging on turn 4, not coming down as a 6/6 on turn 4. I mean, people are going nuts over, you know, the demons that you get a 6/6 on turn 4. This thing is real. Like, that's a 6/6 with trample. No, it doesn't have flample. It ain't flying, but holy crap. Isn't there an angel that resets life total? Probably. Isn't there, like, always an angel that resets life total? But I think that the troll is definitely going to be a card that we have to worry about. We've got Conclave Cavalier. It looks like there's one of these cards for each one of the sets. So the Conclave Cavalier is going to be double white, double green. So this is going to be your Selesnya. I'm going to have to come up with a name for these since there's one for each of the guilds. They're not petals. I mean, I named the petals because, you know, that was a theme, but yeah, we'll have to figure out what we want to call these. Yeah. The Guild Duels? I don't know. Whatever. Guild Duels just sounds like a land, but yeah. So the Cavalier is a 4/4 for 4. Vigilance, and when it dies, create 2 2/2 green-white elf knight creature tokens with Vigilance. That is probably really relevant, the creature types. Elf and knight. I kind of wish she was an elf knight, but she's a centaur. So that would be pretty cool. I mean, you know, she could already be in certain decks and stuff like that. But, I mean, a 4/4 with Vigilance that breaks down into 2 more 2/2s with Vigilance, that's going to be hard to deal with. I mean, it's kind of Worm Coil, not as good. I mean, Vigilance is not 1 Death Touch, 1 Lifelinker. That's not a thing. But yeah, like, I think it would have been really flavorful if they said, you know, she has Trample and Vigilance, and when it dies, create 2 2/2 green, create an elf with I guess Trample, and a knight with Vigilance. Like, that would have been pretty cool, or something like that. But I kind of like the way they went with it. Conclave Guild Mage. The Guild Mages are a thing. They always have been. And it's just Selesnya colors, and you can pay 1 green and tap it. Creatures you control gain Trample until end of turn. That seems extremely relevant. And then you got 1 white and 5 colorless, tap it, create a 2/2 green and white elf knight creature token. So Selesnya's got some elf knights. That's definitely a thing. You guys were talking about the Izzet, you know, counterburn decks and things like that. The Crackling Drakes, oh my goodness, like y'all were wanting a replacement for Enigma Drake. Yeah, it costs 1 more mana, but this is a really good replacement because it's going to count the cards that are in exile. I mean, it's a flying X4 or Star 4. That Crackling Drake's power is equal to the total number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile and in the graveyard. And when it enters the battlefield, you're going to draw a card. Come on, that's almost worth that extra mana. That's pretty decent. So, Bicycles. I kind of like that. Bicycles. Hey, Fox. Hey, buddy. You just gonna run in here, do your thing. It's gonna run in here and do your thing. Hey, buddy. Yeah, my big old cat. My big old cat. All right, I got you, Fox. I got you. You just chill. Just lay there in my lap. Chill. All right. So, Darkblade Agent. As long as you've surveilled this turn, Darkblade Agent has Death Touch, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card. Yeah. If Surveil is a thing, that's going to be great. That's going to be great. Bicycles, I kind of like that. The Double Troubles, that's pretty good too. History Lessons will be much more painful. Oh, yes, with the knights, the elf knights and stuff. Don't forget, Conclave creates 2 4/4 angels, right? Isn't that what everyone's going to do? I mean, if you got a white deck, you're going to have the Divine Visitation down. In Divine Invitation. Is it Divine Invitation or Divine Visitation? We'll check in a little bit. But yeah, whenever you make a token, you're actually going to get a replacement effect for those tokens, and you get 2 4/4 angels. So, I mean, that's probably going to be pretty good. Can you imagine having that down and then cast History of Benalia? Like, they're just going to be 4/4 flyers right off the bat. You're not even going to worry about that. The last chapter. Oh, who cares about the last chapter? Yeah, Madness says, let's see, Boros is talking to Madness. You almost forgot. Light of the Legion will most definitely see play. Light of the Legion. Have we not gotten there yet? Don't think we're down there yet. But the Darkblade Agent, if Surveil is a thing, I think that this will get some play. I mean, as long as you surveilled this turn, it has Death Touch. So that's pretty cool. Deafening Clarion. Choose one or both. This will get some play. Choose one or both. You can deal 3 damage to each creature, and creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. So that'll be a thing for sure. What? Wow, I went way too far. Way too far. So let me catch up here on chat, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. Enigma Drake is still standard. Enigma Drake's not rotating? What? There's going to be 8 Drakes? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wow, I thought Enigma Drake was rotating. Fox, you're not sitting on the computer desk, dude. You monster. Oh, 18-pound cat. What a monster. We have this and Enigma Drake and Weenots. Oh yes, Weenots is great. I love that card. Okay, so 8 Drakes in a Spellslinger deck. That seems like a thing. A Trot of the Silencer art is amazing. Oh, yes. Like, we're talking Vampire Nighthawk pretty. Like, this... She's pretty cool. I'm not 100% on how much I like her, but I think that whatever deck that they're going to play a Trotta in, you get to play 4 of her, so that's going to be pretty cool. Visitation, yeah, who cares, right? Cards bonkers. Anointed Procession, that is gone. It's going to be 9 Drakes if you count Bear Drake, right? There you go. Love it, love it. King Nugget, you was kind of sad about Aurelia. Best part of her was 2 attack turns. Right, yeah, I got you. That's a thing. Is this her, like, on this night? Like, just chance for glory here? I mean, that's her on the art, right? So, it is not your time. The Legion still needs your blade. I love it. I love it. Like, some of the lore and stuff on these is just absolutely terrific. Her ability balances out with her mana cost. That makes sense. That does make sense. Dimir Spybug. The Spybug has Flying and Menace, which is not bad. And whenever you Surveil, put a +1/+1 counter on the Spybug. This card might get some play, guys. If there's a Surveil deck, if there's a real Dimir Surveil deck, this card's probably going to get some play. Like, no lie, I think that the Spybug's probably okay. Like, if you... That's not going to count like Surveil 2, right? Like, you're not... If you Surveil 2, that's one instance of surveilling. So you're not going to be like Surveil 2, get 2 counters on this. So, I mean, it's not going to be broken, but it's probably going to be good. I mean, it's probably at least a limited bomb. Oh yeah, there's going to be a Surveil deck in limited, absolutely, and it will be a bomb. Yeah. Disinformation Campaign, Dimir and Generic. It's an enchantment. Dimir enchantments. Okay. When Disinformation Campaign enters the battlefield, you draw a card for each. You draw a card, and each opponent discards a card. When you Surveil, return Disinformation to its owner's hand. Whoa. Okay. So, play the enchantment. I'm going to draw a card. You discard a card. And then we Surveil. Is there a card that says whenever you draw a card, Surveil? Man, that would be broken, right? Myria, Soul of the Discord, or Soul of the Discord, Soul of the Accord. Selesnya colors, Legendary Elf Cleric, and when Myria, Soul of Accord becomes tapped, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token with lifelink. So that's going to be awesome. I am looking forward to being able to play with the green-white Watley. And I'm loving the fact that, you know, some of these Selesnya decks are going to be, you know, really token-based and things like that. So I think that we might want to start looking at Watley stock. Watley might actually be worth something. We may start seeing her in some pretty cool decks. Magic Hefe asked me to play a Watley deck. Well, he asked me to play the Flashing Miners deck. And that deck works really well with a couple Watleys in it. So I'm going to be playing a Watley deck here soon. Erstwhile Trooper. I had to look at that before I could read it. Golgari colors in Generic for a zombie soldier that's a 2/2. Discard a creature card. The trooper gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn, but you can only activate the ability once each turn. It doesn't say you have to activate it at sorcery speed, so you can activate it for 0 mana. Just discard a creature card to keep your troll alive. That seems like that'd be a thing. So, you licked one. You licked one up for $5 a Watley, right? Did you pay the 5 or? I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You got me there, dude. I already see where you typed picked, but I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Can I quote you out of context? Right? All right. This is late night, guys. This is what we do. This is what we do. All right. We play some jank, or we just sit around and talk and pick at each other, which is good. I mean, you guys can lay it on me if you want. I'm sure I'll say some stuff that you guys can turn around. Madness is always going, quote SideboardMTG, you know. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that this card's got the what happens when we do this? Okay, all right. I'm glad that this card actually has, you know, a just free discard outlet. You don't have to pay anything. You just put it on the stack, things like that. So, it's getting here late, and you got fat thumbs. I understand, man. As a common, it's pretty strong. I think so too. All right, Atrada the Silencer. Now this card is kind of broken. Whenever, first off, it can't be blocked, but whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you're going to be able to exile target creature that player controls and put a hit counter on it. So it's just going to go into exile, kind of like what Karn does, puts it into exile with a hit counter. But then you've got to shuffle this back into its owner's library. So unless you've got like an unsummon or something like that, and then you're going to have to play another one. So, like, that's why I think out of all, like, you know, legendaries and stuff, you're really going to want to have, you know, 4 copies of this thing. So, you're gonna want to like shuffle one in, and then you're going to want to play another one immediately. This way you can swing again next turn and things like that. Also, when you play one, if they don't have a removal spell, they're going to be really, really cautious about being able to throw their big dude out, because you're coming through anyway. And you know that you're going to be able to take their biggest guy. So even if you're not like winning the game because you that player loses the game if they own 3 or more cards exiled with the hit counters on them. So like I do need to mention that. Helm of Host. Oh, you want to make copies of this. That could be a thing. That could 100% be a thing. Atrada's Helm of Host. But I do just like the idea of, bam, I played Atrada. Now what are you going to do? Like, are you going to play your Demanding Dragon? Because I'm just going to take 5, and then I'm going to swing at you and exile your best dude. Or are you going to play your Bolas? Because I'm just going to swing at you and exile Bolas. Like, you can't really, like, if you're on the play and you just drop this and they don't have an answer for it, and like the likelihood of them burning it is going to be serious, like, because they're just not going to burn it. Like, there's no roast. So like right now we got Lava Coil that'll burn for 5 or for 4, but she's got 5 toughness, guys. I mean, and she's going to hit for 3. That's no slouch. I mean, she's giving a good solid smack. And she's going to exile something. I really like this card, even if I am having to draw it. So, I mean, that seems like a thing. Okay, so the squeeze scenario does matter, because if you can get it out of exile, it will not have... Oh, Fight with Fire. There you go. If you can get it out of exile, then I don't think it has the hit counter on it anymore. So it's exiled with a hit counter on it, and if you cast it, Squee from exile, I think he just enters the battlefield, and I don't think he has a hit counter on him anymore. So maybe there's something relevant there. Blink of an eye before it gets shuffled back in. So she hits and does combat damage. Trigger on the stack. Select a target for the trigger. Before you let the trigger resolve, bounce her. That seems good. That seems really good, actually. So, yeah. I mean, we don't have unsummon, but if you've got other ways to bounce her. There's also that bounce spell that says, like, you may play this card as long as it remains in exile. So you would just exile her, and then at the beginning of the next main phase, you just go ahead and play her again without paying the converted mana cost or something. It seems like that'd be a thing. Firemind's Research. So this is a 2-mana Is-It enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a charge counter on Firemind's Research. You can pay 1 blue and a colorless to remove 2 charge counters from Firemind's Research to draw a card. Or you can pay 1 red and 1 colorless to remove 5 charge counters from it and deal 5 damage to any target. That may or may not be great. I think that it will be pretty decent if there is a 1000-Year Storm deck. If there's a 1000-Year Storm deck, you're just going to start, like, churning off. But remember, you don't cast copies. So you're not going to be putting just tons and tons of counters on this. But if you are playing that type of Storm deck, you're going to have a lot of cheap cantrip spells and things like that. So you will be just kind of flying through those cantrips. So, yeah, there's a Flicker card in Standard. Yeah, there is. So, I mean, if you flicker it, yeah, no need to play her again if the flicker effect puts her back on the board. Right. So that seems pretty good. Garrison Sergeant. Now, it has double strike as long as you control a gate. So there's a gate matters. It would be a Shino Soldier, Lizard Peoples. So it's an Argonian. Any of you guys like Elder Scrolls? Any of y'all Elder Scroll fans? The Lizard People, they're Argonians. Garrison Sergeant, 5 mana 3/3, has double strike as long as you control a gate. I'm not impressed. Goblin Electromancer. Is it colors for a 2/2 Goblin Wizard? Alright, so it's a blue-red 2/2, so it barely passes vanilla. Goblin and a wizard, these horrible creature types, so those aren't relevant. Is it alright? So Is It doesn't care about instants and sorcery. So I mean, like this card sucks, right? Like instant and sorcery spells you cost less, 1 less to like this will never get play. Nobody will ever play this, right? This card's gonna be friggin' nuts. Like the fact that this is back in Standard is just stupid, right? Let's see what he's doing. All right, took you a minute. I'm trolling you, Madness. That's what I'm doing. I'm trolling you. Yeah. So great card. Is It colors 2/2 vanilla passes. The creature types are 100% relevant. Goes in Goblin decks, Wizard decks. Activates Wizard's Lightning, activates like all the things. Instants and sorcerers are going to cost less anyway. So, geez, yeah. Like this card is already in Modern. Great to have it back. So that is that's quite awesome to just have Goblin and Electromancer back. Just the fact that this card exists means that there will be some serious things. Now Wizards kill on turn 4 or 5. Right, Rocker? That's totally. Oh, I totally got you guys at first. Oh, that's awesome. I love when my trolls actually hit you guys. Right, pass after I mentioned the vanilla test. There we go. I'm good. Yeah, it's pretty good. The new 2/3 with reach, in your opinion? What? Okay. It was like, what? Is it Wizards? At least, yeah, right. Yes, Val was getting on to me. She's like, you got to do like complete Nightbot changes. We've got to. Oh, right, the Wizards is butt. Yeah, but he can win on turn 4. Yeah, that's kind of a troll too. Like because the Wizards deck's not bad right now. Like, there's mono-blue wizards that can just destroy you. There's blue-red wizards that can just destroy you. There's mono-red wizards that can destroy you. So, yeah, it's kind of the wizards thing's a troll. But, yeah, this is it counterburn's going to be a real thing, guys. You're going to be able to play a decent, threat that will actually be something, right? And then from there, you're going to have Yeah, exactly. Like you just said, lightning strike will become lightning bolt. You know, negate will become a card that's never been printed before. Uh, so I mean, yeah, there's no one mana. Oh yeah, it'll become dispel, right? Counter target instant or sorcery, right? So negate becomes dispel. Hey, man, there's going to be some good stuff. Or no, dispel is only counter target instant spell, right? Oh heck, I don't remember. Either way, the Wizards deck, I mean, it's basically just going to be that classic counterburn play that so many of us Izzet mages actually love. You put down a decent, reliable threat, and then, yes, he stacks. Yes, you can put multiple down, and now your 3-drop that's 1 blue and 2 colorless only cost 1 blue. So, yes, like Fight with Fire would be 1 red. Right. Negate hits all things, right? So, yeah. Like, it's a card that's never been printed before. Pay 1 mana, counter target non-creature spell. Yeah, I don't think that's ever been printed, so. Yeah, Goblin Electromancer is definitely, he's going to enable some serious things. The fact that he is in this set really shows how much they're pushing the Niv-Mizzet story and the Niv-Mizzet battle in the cards, which I love anyway, so. Glowspore Shaman, moving on here. We've got a Golgari. Now, I don't know if this one will be the same, but we do have relevant creature types here again. We've got Elf and Shaman. Now, it is a 3/1, so dies to Goblin Chain Whirler, things like that, but it's an Elf, so there's a lot of lords out there we'll be able to do some things with, so. Yeah, that's kind of why Brawl... Like, Brawl would stack if you could have multiple Brawls down. Like, so if you Helm of Host Brawl or something like that, yeah, that would stack. And just like Goblin Electromancer will stack, but he's not legendary, so yeah, you're going to be able to stack him. So, I mean, this is a 3/1 here, and when the Shaman enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. You may play a land card from your graveyard, or you may put a land card from your graveyard on top of your library. Seems like that might be relevant, especially if you need a specific color. You've already churned through some stuff. You know, you put like a Stitcher Supplier or something on turn 1. You know, and you're already dumping some lands and stuff in the grave. But it is a May ability, so you don't have to make sure that your next card is going to be a land. Right, Sinister Laughing. There's a lot of people that call Supernatural Stamina Sinister Laughing. I think wasn't Kenji. Who's the... Paul Cheon. Paul Cheon said that that's what they called Sinister Laughing. Or Unnatural Stamina with Sinister Laughing. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But, yeah, this is a May ability. You don't have to actually put a card on top of your library. And then Golgari Finebroker. So, this is another one of the bicycles. Yeah, I'm going to call them that. It seems stupid enough that people hate it. Yeah, we're going to go with bicycles. And it's another Elf Shaman, so it looks like this is a relevant creature type again for a 3/4. And when it enters the battlefield, return a permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It has to be a permanent, so like the first thing that comes to mind here, we're talking about what? What's that card? Eternal Witness. It's not quite an Eternal Witness, but I mean, geez. If you've just been dumping all of these cards into your graveyard and you need a specific card, oh my goodness, Golgari Finebroker is going to be awesome. It's the name your friends and you came up with one day. Perhaps one of them heard it from Paul Cheon. Yeah, I think they said that they were calling it Sinister Laughing when they were doing testing and stuff. I've heard it called Sinister Laughing before. But yeah. You may have a friend that likes to take credit for things he doesn't do. Anyway, Hammer Dropper, Mentor, 5/2. That's a thing. That's a thing. Giants know a solid hit is 1 part strength, 4 parts leverage. So 4 mana 5/2 doesn't have haste. I kind of wish this had haste, but I mean, it's a 5/2. So you swing with this and something else, you're probably going to lose this, but you're going to put a counter over on something else because, let's face it, it doesn't have any real way to protect itself. You can throw pretty much anything in front of it and kill it. Yeah, I don't think Hammer Dropper is going to be worth playing. Probably going to be decent limited though. House Guild Mage, so Dimir colors. You can pay a blue and a colorless. Tap it. Target creature doesn't untap during his controller's next untap step. Or you can pay 1 black and 2 colors. Tap this guy and surveil 2. That's probably going to be extremely relevant. I highly expect there to be like a green, black, blue Sultai deck, and this could probably even get some play in that, just because of its surveil 2 on a stick. Hypothesizzle. What a name. What a name. Hypothesizzle. 5 mana, instant speed, draw 2 cards. You may discard a non-land card. When you do, Hypothesizzle deals 4 damage to target creature. So, instant speed, 5 mana, I'm going to draw 2, discard this thing, and pop your dude for 4. I don't know. I like you guys. I like the name of it. I do think that this could get some play. I mean, if you got a Goblin Electromancer or 2 down, that might be worth it. But what I don't like about it is if you have top decked this card and you don't have other cards in your hand, yeah, you're going to want to play this thing. You're going to be like, I need to draw some cards. What happens if you hit double land? You're not killing nothing. So you just don't have any like real choice there. So I mean, it could be a thing. It could be a thing. It's like a better hieroglyphic illumination. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not going to write the card off because like the Is It decks are going to need some spells matter kind of thing, and Hypothesism may show up. I mean, we played Steam Augury. Steam Augury is a better card than this, I think. But Hypothesizzle, you gotta love the name. All right, so Snoop Dogg, right? Ionize. We got 1 red, 1 blue, 1 colorless. For a counter target spell, Ionize deals 2 damage to that spell's controller. Oh snap, son! Oh snap! That's a real card, man. If they would have put Jumpstart on this. This would have been a seriously like must play. You gotta have 4 of this. But so many times have we had like Searing Blaze and things like that in our format, so that you burn this and you do 2 damage to the opponent or something like that. This is gonna be counter and do 2 damage to you. I mean, this is like the epitome of counter burn right here. So Ionize, this is probably gonna get some play. I mean, even if you're just paying 3 mana counter target spell. This has got an upside right here, so I really do like Ionize. I like this card. I think Ionize is probably going to get some play. Alright, so let's talk about Izona? Thousand-Eyed. So this is like a Bicycle plus 2. For a legendary elf shaman with Undergrowth and with Izona Thousand-Eyed enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token for each creature card in your graveyard. You can pay 1 green and 1 black, sacrifice another creature, you gain a life, and draw a card. Trying to think of how I feel about a 6 mana 2/3. I think we got to cheat it into play before it's even worth playing. I don't think I'm really interested in going, I'm paying 6 mana, man. We're going to do that big tap out. Just bam! Tap all that mana. Tap out. Here's a 2/3. Man, the card's broken good. I like that. And if you got a bunch of creatures in your graveyard, even if it just hits, you're gonna make a ton of green black insects. But I really think I just want to cheat this into play, right? Like, I just want this to be one of the things that we dumped and then we somehow just get back to the battlefield. So yeah, that's going to be one of the things I'm looking for. I want to find some crazy ways to get some stuff back to the battlefield. I love Reanimator decks and things like that. So, Journey still in standard, so cheating is possible. This is true. This is true. You're not getting a lot of cheat out of it. You do still have to do some work to make Journey to Eternity work. Journey to Eternity has Sinister Lapping attached to it, so that, like, Journey to Eternity might be a thing, guys. Like I really like the interaction with it and Thrashing Brontodon. So that's pretty good. So we might see some Izona. Join shields, create a phalanx, boys. We've got 1 white, 1 green, so Selesnya colors, and 3 instant speed. Untap all creatures you control. They gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Done. That's it. No more text on the card. I mean, actually, there's a ton of text like explaining things and then some flavor text, but no relevant text on the card. 5 mana for heroic intervention, but you untap them all. I mean, it'd be a decent combat trick, but 5 mana? I don't think the format's going to allow us to go that deep into some of these games. I don't think that's going to be a reliable thing. And you got to be on play to be able to beat like the 5 mana board wipes and stuff. So I don't think I like it. Yeah, I think it's just too much. Maybe at 4 mana it might have been playable. At 3 mana it would have been awesome. 2 mana it would have been broken. Would have been absolutely broken. Justice Strike, Boros colors, instant speed. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. So 2 mana, kill your Galta. 2 mana. Man, that's actually pretty good, ain't it? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 4 could have been fine, or Convoke. Right, like if Convoke would have been on it, it might have been even better because you're going to tap them all. Like, it would have been great with Convoke, okay? It would have been absolutely terrific with Convoke because you would have been like, I'm tap them all, Convoke, the ability resolves, it untaps them. This card should have had Convoke. Yeah, they messed up somewhere. I bet somewhere in their notes they removed Convoke from this card. But that would have been good. I think that would have been very, very good to put Convoke on this card. That it would have been playable. Not only playable, we would have seen it in a lot of decks. So the Justice Strike card looks like it's just going to be a Boros way of killing big dudes. So yeah, I bet if we could go back and see the notes, like there's an R&D note somewhere of removed Convoke. Night of Autumn. Night of Autumn, we've got Selesnya and 1 for a Dryad Knight. I mean, it's Night of Autumn, it better be a knight, right? That'd have been funny. Night of Autumn and it was like Elf Dryad. When Night of Autumn enters the battlefield, choose 1, put 2/1 with counters on Night of Autumn, destroy target artifact or enchantment, or you gain 4 life. So first off, I love things that give me options. I think this card's probably a little bit too weak to get some serious play, other than the fact that it's got all these choices on it, right? Right, if it would have been a Dryad Soldier, that would have been, see, that would have been flavor fail, but thankfully it's a Knight. I think this will get some play, but I hate the fact that it's a 3 mana 2/1. And the reason I think it'll get play is because the amount of options that are on the card. I think the card's absolutely great for the amount of options. So, Lazav the Multifarious. My bad. I was thinking, yeah, Lazav the Multifarious. So, he's evil and good and all these other things, right? Doesn't matter what he is. He's a 1/3 with X. So when he enters the battlefield, you're going to get to surveil 1. And then you can pay X, and he becomes a copy of target card in your graveyard. We converted mana cost of X. Except its name is Lazav the Multifarious. It's legendary in addition to its other types. And it has this ability. So somebody's going to create some kind of way that they dump a whole bunch of cards in their graveyard using surveil or whatever. And then, like, all of a sudden, you know, you pay 6 mana, your Lazav becomes this thing, and then it becomes something else, and then it becomes something else, and then you're going to be able to do some crazy stuff. So, Lazav's kind of always been that way. So, like, I'm excited to see what kind of Lazav shenanigans we get to pull off. Like, bam, we get a Lazav down, we've dumped these other things in our graveyard, and if we hit this, like, this magical Christmas land, then it only costs this much mana to give him this ability and this much mana to give him this ability, and like you can resolve this, and then you'll be able to do this thing and then change it with this on the stack. Like, there's going to be some stupid crap. So when you're looking at Lazav, keep that open mind, guys. I think there's going to be some crazy stuff you can do with Lazav. Definitely going to be playable. People will play Lazav, so standard ninjutsu, right? That's a good way to put it. Yeah, I think Lazav's going to be good. Seems like the main reason to go Abzan with Knights. Probably. I think that Knight of Autumn's good. Don't get me wrong. I hate that it doesn't pass the vanilla test in any form or fashion. I hate that it's only got 1 power or 1 toughness. But the fact that it has all of, like, okay, so if you need it to be bigger, you can always just pick, hey, we're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it a 4/3, which a 4/3 is great. So it's probably like the best Selesnya card there is. Like, I'm no lie. Oh my goodness. Oh my. So you copy something that's unblockable for 1, right? You swing with Lazav. Oh no, you just pay 4. You just pay 4 and you copy Atrada. Pay 4, you copy Atrada. His name is not Atrada. He doesn't get shuffled into your library. You still get the ability. That's going to be a thing. That is 100% going to be a thing. You just throw like you throw her in the graveyard. So you throw Atrada in the graveyard for 4 mana, right? His name is not Atrada, so he doesn't get shuffled into your library. There you go, guys. You're welcome. You're welcome. We've broke Lazav already. There we go. Saffron Olive pointed that out. All right. Damn it. All right. Thought I was on to something. Day 0, Atrada incoming, right? Yeah, I do think that that's pretty good, though. So maybe that was just meant to be there, right? Like, if it's that easy to figure it out, though. I like it. Got to build it. I think it's good. I think that's probably it. Like, that's how I want to use it right off the bat. So, yeah. League Guild Mage. But that means you could have her and, like, her in the graveyard, make a copy with Lazav, and then you could actually have her on the battlefield. You could swing. When you so you'd be able to exile 2 creatures and go ahead and put 2 in. That's probably pretty good. Yeah, there's going to be some good Demir shenanigans right there on Lazav. I'm going to have to brew with him. I'm going to have to really think about him. I always liked the last rendition of Lazav. He was pretty good too. So, League Guild Mage. So part of the Is It League Guild Mage here. You've got pay 4, a blue and 3 colorless, tap, draw a card. Pretty straightforward. Then you got red and X, copy target instant or sorcery you control with converted mana cost X. You may choose new targets for the copy. I hate the fact that it says you control. I think that if you got an incoming lightning bolt, you should be able to pay 3 mana, copy that lightning bolt. Bam! You know, now I'm shooting one back at you. Counter spell, baby. You know, like. I'm going to take your spell and shoot it back at you. So, yeah. Too bad. Too bad it's you control. If it wasn't you control, like, the Guild Mage would be broken. Ledev Champion. Ledev Champion. Man, that should have been Dev's preview card right there. He got camaraderie though, so. Ledev Champion, white and a green and a colorless. When Ledev Champion attacks, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Ledev Champion gets +1/+1 till the end of turn for each creature tapped this way. Wow. All right. So everything that's not going to attack just taps. You just tap them down to make this dude huge. I don't like that. I don't like the way that works. Uh, Watsy, excuse me, I heard you like synergy, right? I don't like the way this works because I don't like the implications that if I'm not attacking with these creatures anyway, then it means that the opponent probably has something big enough that's going to kill them, which now if I tap all of these dudes down, I don't have blockers or something like that. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I like the way that works. He does have a 5 mana sink on him that allows you to create 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink, which is not bad. I just don't 100% know if I like the way this creature works. I do like that it's only 3 mana. It is a 2/2. You can use some. It's got some abilities. It's got a late game mana sink. I do like that, but yeah. You wonder if Grixis Wizards might be a thing with kill spells in place of some burn spells. Probably. Normally, that's what Izzet has to do. So if you're an Izzet mage, at some point your Izzet deck has had to splash black or splash green. Normally, it lets a token's build take out a Galta if it blocks, but it doesn't seem playable. So it's only when it attacks can you use this ability, right? So it's whenever the champion attacks, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. So, I mean, if we're facing down a Galta, I need to tap all of these creatures so that I'm big enough to swing through Galta. That's cool. But I have to do that before they ever declare blocks. I think that all the timing on this card is just wrong, right? Like, if they fixed it some other way, like, as long as it was attacking, you may tap any number of creatures you control. So then you could wait until after they had decided to block or something like that. I think if they would have worked on the timing a little bit more, we would have probably had a much better card here. But I think with the current timing, I don't think it's going to work. So I agree with you, Barry. If it blocks, so it does seem unplayable. I'll agree with you. It just seems unplayable due to timing restrictions mainly. Legion Guild Mage. So we've got same thing for the Guild Mages here. They always cost one of their colors. And we've got 6 mana, 1 red and 5 colorless. It deals 3 damage to each opponent. That's not horrible. It's a good late game mana sink. And you can pay 3 mana, 1 white and 2 colorless, tap this guy, and tap another target creature. It's pretty good. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I don't know if any of them are really good. It's garbage. There's your evaluation. All right, so here's the card that is going to be broken. So broken. Mainly because of the white card we'll probably talk about a little bit later. March of the Multitudes, you got double white, green, and X. And it's got Convoke. So you cast the first when you make a ton of dudes. You cast the second when you make a ton more dudes. Oh man, it's going to be great. You create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. And those could all be 4/4 angels. So if you've got the right combination down, into their turn, you can like entreat the angels. Boom! Mind blown. This could be absolutely devastating. Oh my god. It's good. It's good. I mean, the creatures have lifelink. Yeah. Instant speed. Yeah. This is going to be... It's going to be knuck and futz, boys. Knuck and futz. This is getting played. Like, this is the reason to play Naya tokens or whatever. And the only reason I'm saying Naya is because there's like, if you're playing Naya, you get to play like goblin cards that make tokens, and then if you get your white enchantment down, you get like a 1/1 goblin and a 4/4 angel, like the goblins being Overwatch, right? March of the Multitudes is going to be absolutely absurd in a Song of Freyalise deck. Well, see, Song of Freyalise gives... It's already got Convoke. Like, why do you need... I mean, Song of Freyalise basically just gives all of your creatures Convoke. Like, all spells have Convoke, right? So, like, I think a lot of people aren't really understanding that about how good Song of Freyalise really is. But the turn that it goes off, like, you do this... Oh my god, there you go. the turn that Song of Freylease goes off, oh my goodness. The turn that Song of Freylease is going off with the trigger on the stack, you go ahead and tap everything you got, make a ton of dudes, and all of these new dudes get the +1/+1. Yeah, oh my god. That's probably going to be broken. Mnemonic Betrayal. We could talk about March of the Multitudes all night. It's good. We know it's going to get play. We know there's going to be some crazy stuff out there, so yeah. Yeah. This is going to be great. Mnemonic Betrayal. We got Dimir colors and 1 sorcery speed. Exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards. So only the opponents' graveyards. You may cast those cards this turn. And you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast those spells. At the beginning of the next end step, if any of those cards remain exiled, returning them to the owner's graveyard. I hate that you still got to have a bunch of mana to be able to use this. And it is sorcery. And it's at the beginning of the next end step. So you don't get to like instant speed trick this in or something like that. So yeah. Unless we have a way to like bypass speed or timing. Timing restrictions seem like they're bad, but then you got to exile Mnemonic Betrayal, so it'll be gone. You're not going to be able to like flash it back or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, this could be awesome against like an Izzet deck or something like that. Going to be weird playing not Yawgmoth's Will in Standard, right? Molder Hulk. Undergrowth. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in your graveyard. And when Molder Hulk enters the battlefield, return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, okay. I mean, you're pitching stuff in your graveyard anyway. You might get a 6/6 for little to nothing. 2 mana. I mean, you could get a 2 mana 6/6. Do I think this is like Gurmag Angler? Probably not, but it could be pretty good. I think it's good enough that it'll get some play. If there's a good Undergrowth deck, and there probably will be, this will probably get some play. Molder Hulk. Alright. Night Veil Predator. So here's our Dimir bipedal, or bicycle. Flying, Death Touch, Hexproof, 3/3. Why don't they just give it lifelink? Flying, Death Touch, lifelink, Hexproof. For 1 more mana than Vampire Nighthawk, right? Imagine Torgar followed by Molder Hulk. That seems good. That seems absolutely fine. Okay, he's going to be the Golgari Cryptic Serpent. Yeah, I think he's going to get play. Like, if the Undergrowth deck is good at all, he's going to get some play. And plus, like, if there's a Sultai deck, yeah, he's going to be good. Night Veil Predator looks great. I'm not going to lie, guys. A 3/3 flying with Death Touch and Hexproof. It's going to be good. I mean, it's definitely going to put the brakes on things. So, like, if people are... It's going to be hard to swing into it, and they can't remove it. It's going to be a real deal. Alright. Alright. So let's talk about it. We're here. We're standing in front of the great Niv Mizzet right now. Does he actually fit in any deck? I mean, he's a double pedal, for crying out loud. He's double red, or triple red, triple blue for a 5/5 that can't be countered. He's got flying, and he's got some really cool abilities. Like, whenever you draw a card, he's going to deal damage to any target. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, you draw a card. Okay. I mean, that's any player. So your opponent goes to kill it with an instant or sorcery, bam, you're going to be able to at least do a point of damage. I mean, I think he's good. He's going to be a finisher in the Izzet Spellslingers, and maybe Izzet Meal. I definitely think that there's going to be a good Izzet Spellslinger deck, and we're gonna jump over to Ral Zarek in a few minutes, which it's gonna be pretty good. I love the fact that they kept kind of like all the lore with him and everything. You know, that he deals damage. You know, he cantrips, he shoots things. You know, just little bolts coming out of his fire or dragon claws or whatever. I think he's great. I'm a big fan of all the Niv Mizzets I've ever seen. I haven't really put him beside some of the other Niv Mizzets and decided or not whether, like, how does he combo with the others. So, like, are we going to be able to build some commander decks with 3 Nivs? 3 Niv commander, and then you just Dragon Storm, hit them all, and then that could be broken. Yeah, that could be broken. Notion Rain, Sorcery Speed, Dimir, and Colorless. So Surveil 2, then draw 2 cards. Notion Rain deals 2 damage to you. I'm trying to think of something. Read the Bones? Is this Read the Bones? Read the Bones got play. Dump 2 cards in the graveyard or leave them on top. So you, like, that's, man, if this was instant speed, this would be really, really good. This card's good, guys. Notion Rain. I mean, Surveil is not a bad ability. Huh. That's a real card, guys. Notion Rain's a real card. If it was instant, it would be broken. But this is gonna get play. This is gonna get a lot of play. Surveil 2. All right, so we get to dump 2 cards off the top of our library, or keep one, or keep it on top, or whatever. Like, we look at them and we go, "Hey, damn, these are great. I'll just draw them." We do that already with Glimmer of Genius. People went nuts over Glimmer of Genius. People currently will cast Glimmer of Genius to make sure they hit a land. So, nah, it's totally fake. What's up, Joshua? How you doing, buddy? How are you? We're doing a late night, just kind of going over, you know, the spoilers and stuff like that. We've been at it for, you know, about an hour and a half now. Like, so, you know, some people have come and gone and things like that. But I'm glad you could make it, Joshua. Notion Rain's going to be, this is a real card. Or maybe it's a fake card. I don't know. Maybe they got the spoiler text wrong. Maybe they got it wrong and it's actually instant. No. All right. So yeah, Read the Bones was a thing. Read the Bones got a lot of play. I think this card's good. I think this card's really good. So we got the next card here, Ocaran Assassin, which is Dimir colors and colorless for a 1/1 Death Touch. All creatures able to block him do so. Or her. Is it a female? Okay, well, either way. It's an elf assassin, so I like the fact that you just get to swing with it, right? You just swing with it, and you get to take out whatever the heck you want. Because everything that's going to block it, like, no, your Galt is going to block my assassin. So we put all of these things in front of it, and then I pick which one I want to kill. If you have Elf Lords on the battlefield, you have even a pump spell, some way to pump this. I mean, it's green, so I mean, you're going to be in a green deck. Yeah, it looks feminine. That's why I had to correct myself. But it's green, so if there's some way to buff it, you go, okay, I'm going to give this one 1. I'm going to give this one. This card's probably pretty decent as well. Yeah. The dagger is just a distraction. I carry the real killer in a vial at my side. That's pretty good. Alright, so back to the Niv Mizzet thing. Here we go. Ralzeric, is it Viceroy? This is a Sith Lord right here. He is trying to secretly take over the Izzet League for himself. This card's pretty good. Alright, it's 5 mana, so you're going to instantly be able to take it up and go to 6. It is a 5 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker that you get to look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the other in your graveyard. Well, that's already good. We're feeding graveyard synergies and stuff like that. He is the Senate, right? Or you can -3, and Ralzeric deals damage to target creature equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. He is pretty good. Ralzeric's going to be pretty good. I keep calling him Ralzeric, but it's Ral Izzet Viceroy. But he's Ralzeric. We all know him as Ralzeric, right? Ral's pretty good. The ultimate on him is -8. You get an emblem with, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, the emblem deals 4 damage to any target, and you draw... That says 2 cards, guys. That says you draw 2 cards. Holy cow. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, this emblem deals 4 damage to any target, and you draw 2 cards. Yeah. Teferi's good. This guy's good. Teferi's probably still better. But I mean, okay, his -3 is to target creature. You can't do any target. If his -3 was to any target, so you could target planeswalkers, that would be really, really broken. But, okay, so he's kind of balanced because he can't really hurt another planeswalker until you ultimate him. But you're going to play him. He's going to go to 6. He's definitely a card that you're going to ultimate as soon as you hit that. So, Grandma Burn, splash for blue. It doesn't sound bad. I mean, you want to churn through that deck anyway. Can you imagine, like, yeah, that maybe. Damn, that's going to be good. I like it. I like it. I like Izzet Viceroy here. He's going to be pretty good. Alright, so we got Rhizome Lurcher. Undergrowth. Rhizome Lurcher enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Well, damn, that's pretty decent too. I mean, if we've got good ways to dump cards in our graveyard, which we do, yeah. Exactly. Jumpstart's not going to hurt all these effects. And if you'll notice, like, pretty much all of them say, you know, how many you own and are in exile, or you own in exile and are in your graveyard. So even if your entire graveyard gets exiled, it's not going to hurt most of the Izzet spells. So, Michael Mahoney. Dude. Like, is this who I think it is? Is this Mahoney from manatraders? How are you, sir? Long time no see. What's up, Mike? Yeah, I mean, if we've got good solid ways to dump cards in our graveyard, then this is going to be absolutely terrific too. I mean, you're just going to 4 mana have a really big dude. Granted, if you end up dumping some more stuff in the graveyard, then, you know, that's going to be a thing. So, gotta go. Have a great night. Well, take care, Josh. Take care. I'm glad you could stop by, sir. Alright, Rosemane Centaur. Convoke. Yeah, okay, for a 4/4 with Vigilance, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. I mean, it's got Convoke. We might be able to get a 4/4 out fairly cheap, but you got to be able to make some dudes first. So, like, I'm not impressed. But, Sky Knight Legionnaire. We got a 3-mana flying... It's a flying knight. That could be relevant. So 3 mana for a flying knight. Anyway, that could be relevant. Sonic Assault, 3 mana, instant speed, tap target creature. Sonic Assault deals 2 damage to that creature's controller. I don't like the card. I don't like the fact that, you know, you're just tapping a creature down. Like, it's sleep, but yet they're going to untap. So, like, maybe. I mean, if you're stalling for time, yeah. Oh, you're going to GP Portland. Is that Modern? You playing Modern? You always played a lot of Modern, right?
Thank you, Barry. Thanks for throwing some welcome out there.
Um, I love the flavor text on this. He heard stars and saw thunder. Like that's probably the best part of Sonic Assault right there. Let's go to Somalia Woodshaper. Did I say that right? Somalia? Whatever. Selesnya and 2 for a 2/1, but when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature or enchantment card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. For an elf druid, so not an elf shaman. If it was green black, it would have been an elf shaman. If it's green white, we get elf druids. So maybe there's an Abzan elf deck floating around out there. Looks like that's pretty decent. I mean, like for 4 mana though, you know, it's just not exactly where I want to be. I would like for this to be one of those effects where it actually threw all these into the graveyard, which would, you know, give us an Abzan undergrowth theme or something like that. I think that it would have been much better if it did put them in the graveyard. But you can get a creature or an enchantment card, so not bad. You're looking at 4 cards. You get to see a lot. If there's some kind of combo or something, then this might be worth it, but I don't know. The Swarm Guildmage, the Golgari Swarms Guildmage. So, again, you know, Golgari colors, you get a 2/2. And for a black and 4 colorless, tap it. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain menace until end of turn, which is kind of like the zombie lore that we've had. You know, you just pay 2 and you tap and zombies gain that. So I think they could have made this a little cheaper, but you know, that's what we've got. So, and then you can pay a green and a colorless, tap it and gain 2 life. Again, I'm just not like super impressed by the guild mages. They're okay, but I'm not like super impressed. Swath Cutter Giant, 6 mana, so Boros and 4 for a 5/5 with vigilance, and when it attacks, it deals 1 damage to each creature defending player controls. That's probably going to be pretty good. No lie, that's probably going to hurt some stuff. Can you imagine you play this next turn? I mean, if you have multiples of these, oh my goodness. If you have multiples of these, like, they're both going to swing. We're going to do 2 damage to everything, and then this is okay. Especially if people make some tokens and stuff like that. It's okay. I don't think it's going to be like, you know, backbreaking. This is going to be in every one of the red-white decks. No, but this might get some play. All right. Ouch. When the flavor text is the best part of a card. Yeah, I want Seismic Assault to be better, but I don't know. Swiftblade Vindicator. Double strike, vigilance, trample for a 1/1. But it only costs 2 mana. Boggles? There were no equipments printed in this set. So the only thing I can think of here is Boggles. Right? But Mentor as well. Okay, so I mean, it's vigilance, trample, double strike. This actually may be the Mentor payoff right here. Like, maybe I'm being too simple-minded by going, okay, well, we just got to put Boggles in. We just got to make it bigger. We got to pump it. Maybe this is what you want your Mentor to be putting counters on. Along with the bad boy. Okay, alright, so let's move on to the bad boy right next to it. Haste, Mentor. This comes out the turn after Swiftblade. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And it's got prevent all non-combat damage that would be dealt to other creatures you control. Holy wow. And you can pay 2 to give it first strike. Dang. Okay. So, I actually think this is probably your Mentor payoff. Because, like, you can get this up to 3 power, which swings for 6, just by its, like, just with these 2 cards. Just with, Tajik? How do you say that? Tajik Legion's Edge? I'm going to go with Tajik. Yeah, I'm going with Tajik. I'm going with Tajik. Damn. Yeah, that I think that's probably how, like, that's a good curve right there. You swift blade into a Tajik, you swing with both. Yeah. Tajik. Tajik. Yeah, I'm going with Tajik. I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna roll all my syllables together and go Tajik. Yeah, Tajik. He's a great mentor payoff. He's a great mentor. I think that Swiftblade's a great mentor payoff. So yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, this is like the thing you want to put those counters on. Double strike, vigilance, trample, that sort of thing. It doesn't tap, so it's not getting silhouetted, that sort of thing. So yeah, Tajik's pretty decent here. I like this little curve. This is probably like where you want to be in Mentor right here. Thief of Sanity, 3 mana, so Dimir and 1 for a 2/2 Flying Spectre. When Thief of Sanity deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of that player's library. Exile 1 of them face down. Then put the rest into their graveyard. For as long as that card remains exiled, you may look at it. You may cast it. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. Alright, so we have Gonti. We're really familiar with this. Imagine what people are going to do when they look at the 2 cards you did not take, and they're decent or good, right? They are going to rack their brain at going, holy crap, if he threw those 2 away, what the hell's he got in exile right there, right? So, yeah. There's also a 3-drop Mentor Goblin. Okay. Tajik and Path to Metal. Seems good. Flip Path to Metal pretty easy, right? Like, Path to Metal will probably show up in these decks, so, yeah. Better Gonti? I think so. It's flying. It does have to hit before you get that card. Gonti's going to give you that card as soon as it enters the battlefield, even if they can kill it on the spot. So I'm not going to say it's a better Gonti, but it is a repeating Gonti. It's whenever this deals combat damage, you're going to be able to do that multiple times. So they're going to have to answer this card. Gonti doesn't necessarily have to be answered. Once it's done, it's done. But Thief of Sanity, they can't let you keep flying in and taking, you know, their best out of the top 3 cards and milling them. You're technically milling them 3 every time this thing hits. So, like, you're putting 2 cards in their graveyard, and then you're, you know, keeping 1 in exile. When you finally cast it, it's going to the graveyard, that sort of thing. Yeah. Thought Erasure. This is a 2-mana sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Then you get to surveil 1. Oh, shit. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Like, I don't know what else to say. Thoughtseize? Okay. Done. Yeah, I pay 1 more mana for my Thoughtseize, but I get to surveil 1. Yeah, alright. That seems standard viable. I'll take it. That's a good card. That's just... I don't know what else to say about it. That's just a good card. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Steal Yo Deck. 1,000 Year Storm. Enchantment. 6 mana enchantment. Is it colors in 4? For whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you've cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. Okay, so let's say we cast 3 ops. Okay, so we have 6 mana and we cast 3 ops. Okay, so the first op isn't going to do anything. We're going to get an opt, right? No copy. The second op, we're going to get 2 ops for that one, right? So we'll draw a card, and then we're going to draw 2 more cards, and then let's say we cast our third opt. You're going to be able to draw yet, like that time it's going to copy 2, like, so that's the, you've cast 2 spells before it, so you're going to get that spell plus 2 copies of that spell. So with 3 ops, you're going to have a total of, what, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'll have 6 copies of Opt. You'll have drawn 6 cards there. And I'm just saying Opt. I'm sure that, like with a Goblin Electromancer or something like that, we're going to be able to do other crazy things. Because that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to play like Electromancers and things like that before you get your 1,000-Year Storm down. 1,000-Year Storm is going to be one of those things where it's like, oh crap, I have got to stop them from untapping or untapping with this, or I've got to do as much disruption as possible. You're not going to want to play many of your cantrips and things until after you've gotten your 1,000-Year Storm down. So there's going to be some pretty cool stuff here. But then you've got, at minimum, like 3 mana left, right? Heaven forbid you found Lightning Strike. Alright? So if you find Lightning Strike after you've cast 3 other 1 mana spells, right? You're looking at, you know, the spell and 3 additional copies of that spell. Now remember, you don't cast copies, so those will not work. But you'll get this, and like let's say it's just Lightning Strike. Right? That's going to be 4 Lightning Strikes going on in the stack. So the original spell plus, you know, 3 more copies of it. Oh my goodness. Wow. It's going to be pretty good. That's Is It Burn right there. Feels like a possible omniscience payoff. I hate that word. I want to build around this. I want to build around 1,000-Year Storm. I think that there could be something there. Opt into Opt, then 5 mana Banefire sounds good. Sure. Right? Unmoored Ego. I don't think we're down there yet. Oh yeah, we are. It's just below this. We'll get to it in just a moment there, James. Welcome, James. Welcome. All right, Tristani Discordant. 5 mana for a 1/4. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. When Tristani Discordant enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with a lifelink. At the beginning of the next end step, at the beginning of your end step, each player gains control of all creatures they own. That's okay. So no control magic, but Tristani's okay. I mean, we've seen Tristani before. Tristani has been a member of the Selesnya Conclave for a long time. So yeah, Tristani looks okay. I mean, she looks playable. I like the fact that it's other creatures you control have, you know, you have that Anthem effect. So yeah, seems good. True Fire Captain is going to be the bicycle here. It's a 4-powered mentor. So I actually like that about some of these mentors. Like they're gonna ramp up, so you can have this mentor increase this mentor, which will increase the next one down the line. So if you get to, like, I don't think they will all trigger in the same time though, like, because they all have to be attacking. Let's say you had your Swiftblade Vindicator attacking, your Tajik attacking, and your True Fire Captain attacking, right? You're gonna get 2 triggers, 2 mentor triggers, right? And you would be able to give, yeah, that would work because of the way the power would work. So you target, if you had already gotten Swiftblade up to 3 power, though, you wouldn't be able to target and let 1 resolve because you'd have to put all 3 of your triggers on the stack. I'm trying to find a way to word this so that you guys understand what I'm talking about. Let's say that Swiftblade Vindicator was already at 3 power, right? And then you finally, because you swing with this on 3, then you swing with it again on 4, which brings up Swiftblade Vindicator to a 3 power, and then you play your True Fire Captain, and then on 5 you actually swing with True Fire Captain, Tajik, and your Vindicator. Well, you can get your trigger from the True Fire Captain, put that on Tajik or your Swiftblade Vindicator, but your trigger from Tajik would not be able to go on the Vindicator if you get what I'm saying, like, because it wouldn't be a legal target for Tajik So it's not like you're going to be able to go, okay, True Fire triggers on Tajik, which now Tajik is big enough to trigger onto this other 3-power dude. I don't think it's going to play like that because they're not going to be legal targets to be able to make the stack resolve. So I don't like the timing on Mentor exactly, but I get it. I get it. Undercity Uprising. Golgari and 2 for a sorcery. Creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn. When target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Oh, then target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Okay, so I'm making my little token shoot, like kill your Galta. Alright, that seems good. This is probably not a bad card. Probably not the best card, but it's probably like amazing and limited. Underrealm Lich. This is a 5-mana 4/3 for an elf, for a zombie elf shaman. There we go with that elf shaman thing in the Golgari. If you would draw a card, instead look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put one of those into your hand, the rest on the bottom, or rest into your graveyard. Pay 4 life. It gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. This card's really good. If you would draw a card, instead pick one of the top 3 and put the rest in the graveyard. This card's really, really good. Like, this just feeds the undergrowth strategy. Yeah. Sultai will rise in standard. Yeah. I agree with you there, King Nugget. Not sure we have enough really good creatures to make a value mid-range deck in Grixis at the moment. Plus, you're unsure how good Dream Eater will be. You don't like it. Grixis is going to be dragons, man. Look at dragons. There's plenty of value right there in dragons. I mean, you got Bolas as a dragon. You got Sarkhan, which will allow you to play those dragons. It's going to be a Grixis shell with splashes of other colors. I don't know if it'll be really good until we get more of the lands and everything, but yeah, seems fine. Like, I think Grixis will be okay. I think it's going to be Grixis Dragons. Sounds a lot like a Danto Vanguard. Just the pay 4 life to make an indestructible part. Yeah, they're going to be able to stop you from attacking with it by going, okay, I'm going to lightning strike it. Well, fine, I'll pay 4 life and tap it. Aha, now you can't attack me for 4. Okay. Okay, whatever. Like, the real effect here is, like, replacing your draw with look at the top 3. No, those are not May abilities, so, like, if you're going into some long game, you might, like, not want to pay 4 life to keep this thing going, so. There's not enough good dragons yet? You're like me, you just don't like Demanding Dragon, do you? Like, you've seen all the Elder Dragons, right? And you got plenty of ramp with, like, Sarkhan, stuff like that. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. Maybe not, though. I don't know. Alright, so Unmoored Ego. This is the one that James said he liked here. Yeah, right. Maybe next set, or maybe the set after that. Right? Well, we always get spoiled by a good dragon. Like, we had Thundermaw Hellkite, and then, we had, like, Hellkite Regen or something like that. And then we had, like, Khans of Tarkir, or Dragons of Tarkir, where there was some greatness. Stuff like that. Like, yeah, there's always some great dragons, and then you'll have a set where something isn't a great dragon, so, like, okay, so now we just don't have great dragons, but we've got Bolas. I mean, how many good dragons can there be? Demeaning dragons, really? Right, well, okay. I just think Demanding Dragon, maybe. Alright, so choose a card name, search your opponent's library, graveyard, or hand, graveyard, hand, and library for up to 4 cards with that name, exile them. Haha, so you can't pull all my rats out. Exile them, that player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. I like the fact that if you're pulling one out of my hand, I get to replace that. So, that makes this card crap. because you got to name a card, and if you don't have information, or even if you do have information like that, that makes this silver bullet only. Okay, you know your opponent's got this one card in their deck that you cannot beat, so you unmoored ego it. But the card is crap. I don't like it. Remember, like there's a 60-something% chance that any card in your deck will not be seen. Period. You only see about 40% of your deck every game. So there's I know Lost Legacy was played often in sideboards, but that does not mean Lost Legacy was a good card. Or that doesn't mean Lost Legacy was a good card. I don't think that Lost Legacy is a good card. Lost Legacy is a necessary card. It is a card that fit the bill for what we needed to do with it, but I don't necessarily think it was a good card. Remember, when you're pulling something out of your opponent's deck that you have no clue whether or not, like, and you're going blind at it, you say the name of a card, there is a 60% chance they would have never, ever even seen that card in the first place, right? In most games. But we had Lost Legacy because Approach of the Second Sun was a thing where they only had this one card. Nexus of Fate is going to be the new Approach of the Second Sun in this scenario, right? So if Nexus of Fate stays a deck, you will have to run this crap card in your sideboard, and it's going to work as a silver bullet for some things. But remember, you're not going to get any advantage out of it. Anything that is in their hand, they're going to get to draw, then draw cards for... Whoa. That player shuffles their library, then draws a card for each card exiled from their hand this way. So you're not getting any advantage out of it. So you're not ripping cards out of their hand and they get to, and they don't get to replace those. I get that it is a necessary evil, and we will run it. It will be in decks. I will put it in my decks because I don't want to lose to Nexus of Fate. I don't want to lose to Teferi. Things like that. But as far as like the card itself goes, this is a bad card. Like when you have to play cards like this, that's bad. That's naturally just bad. Will it get play? 100%. 100%. It will get play. It will be in so many sideboards, it's stupid. If they can cast it, it's going to be on the sideboard. Like, I just hate having to play cards like this, though. Because, like, the idea of, I'm going to pick a card, in most games, like, you don't want to, like, nobody would mainboard this, right? I'm just going to rip a card out of their deck. I just know I don't want them to have this card. It makes it silver bullet only. And I know that some of you will never really understand like what I mean by this is a bad card, but let's say that I say Nicol Bolas, right? There's a good chance that we play that whole game and you never even have a Nicol Bolas. Like, you've never even seen a Nicol Bolas. So I just spent one of my cards to deal with a card you may or may not have ever seen anyway? No. The only time that I want to cast something like this is because I know you have something in your deck that I just cannot beat whatsoever. I cannot beat it. If you start comboing off with Nexus of Fate, I cannot beat it. I have to have something like this to beat it. So, yeah. It hits lands. It does hit lands. That's, I mean, you're naming any card. It does hit lands. So, that's a thing. I mean, oh my God, you know they only have so many basic swamps, and you call swamp, you pull 4 swamps out, and then you start like trophy maging. Yeah, it is fun. It is fun, and there's going to be some things you can do with it. Like I said, though, 100% I believe it gets played. 100% it will get played. It's a great silver bullet. It's great at what it does. It's going to be great for the effect that it's going to give. But spending one of my cards to not be able to deal with one of your cards. Remember, Magic's a game of 1 for 1, and when you can 2 for 1, you're winning. This is a 1 for 0. Okay, this is always going to be a 1 for 0. So yeah, That's not cool. Like, I don't like playing my card, like going down a card, and no way am I going to put you down a card. If I pull 4 cards out of your hand, you're still going to draw 4 cards, right? That's what I mean by it's a bad card, right? But if Nexus of Fate is a thing, you're going to need this. 100%. You're just going to have it. There might be some shenanigans where you can learn to, like, against certain decks, go, okay, I'm going to pull this land completely out of their deck, and now I can start, like, just, you know, destroying certain things, and they can't go get stuff. So, I like it. So, Assassin's Trophy's a 1-for-1, and you're going to 1-for-1 them, and then they just go get a land, whatever. At least they're not putting another card in their hand. Right. I think you guys understand what I mean. Vraska the Golgari Queen, 4 mana for a 4/4, or for a 4 loyalty Planeswalker. Alright. Let's talk about you, Vraska. You may sacrifice another permanent. If you do, gain 1 life and draw a card. I mean, if I've got a bunch of insects down or something like that, if I have some things down, maybe I can sacrifice another permanent. In maybe some type of Muldrotha deck or something like that, where I'm okay with sacrificing an enchantment because I want to replay that enchantment, or I'm like in Muldrotha, you could sacrifice the enchantment and then play the enchantment from the graveyard. Yeah. You have a crush on Vraska? Yeah, I do too. I think she's pretty badass. I love the storyline with her and Jace. It's so mushy, right? It's a +2 at least, and then if you get her up to 9, you can get an emblem with whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. But her -3 is pretty decent. Destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost of 3 or less. So, I mean, Abrupt Decay for a -3, that's not bad. That's not bad at all, guys. So, mushy but great. Yeah, it was a good storyline. I liked it. I can't wait till, you know, Jace restores her memory and we get to see Vraska Untouched, or I don't know. I don't know what she's going to be called, but I can't wait to see her after she gets her memory. Awakened Assassin. Weenots! Oh my goodness, the implications of Weenots. Oh my goodness. Did I talk about Ral yet? Yeah, I went nuts over Ral, dude. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had to readjust like 10 times in my seat trying to talk about Ral. Ugh. You know, I personally like Vraska a little bit more than Ral as far as just looks go, and you know, but the words on Ral's card, they got me. They got me. Definitely. Yeah. That card's good. Ral's a really good card. I think that it's going to be awesome. So, not as nuts as I went about Unmoored Ego and how bad it is. That's because of so many people have argued with me about Lost Legacy, talking about that, oh, that's a good card. That's a good card. The idea of hitting a card, like, you know, moving on. Weenots is awesome, though. I mean, this is Kennel Fiend. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Weenots gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I mean, can you imagine just going off? Bam, 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 bam. Yeah. Unmoored Ego is the worst card printed that will get play. It'll get so much play. It is a necessary card. You have to have it. You will have to have this to beat certain decks. I hate it. I hate that we're forced into playing crap like that. Why can't we just have Memoricide and be done with it? Call me Shamel, baby, because I'm a troll. That's exactly what it is. It's going to be a silver bullet to take away primary win conditions. If you know that there's some deck out there that, and that's what I was talking about, Approach of the Second Sun. You know, we have Lost Legacy to deal with Approach of the Second Sun. How often did you really bring Lost Legacy in against anything else? We have Lost Legacy to deal with Nexus of Fate. How often would you really bring in Lost Legacy against anything else? So Mort Ego is going to do that. It's a sacrifice that you're going to have to make. So World Soul Colossus, 1 white, 1 green, and X. Convoke. World Soul Colossus enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I think this is a good card. Yeah. I mean, the Convoke on it means, you know, I get to... If it had Flash, it'd be broken. Okay. Now we're getting into split cards. So I'm going to flip these. Instant Speed. So the first half of all of these split cards is hybrid mana. So I'm just not even going to explain that. But so we've got hybrid mana here, and so 2 hybrid mana gets us put a +1/1 counter on target creature. That creature gains indestructible until end of turn. That's probably not bad. It's instant speed, so I mean instant speed 2 mana gives something indestructible. Plus it gets a little bit bigger. For 6 mana though, we can create 3 2/2 green and white Elf Knight creature tokens. So it's 2/2 green white Elf Knights. Those are going to be a thing, right? All right. So next one here. Now this one is going to be. Man, I don't even want to talk about these cards. They're so hard to deal with. Gain control of target creature with power 2 or less. Well, Tristani will give it back to you, right? So 4 mana, gain control of target creature with power 2 or less. He called it ass to ass. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Connive and Cohort? Concord? Whatever. I don't like these cards. Surveil 3, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battle. 5 mana. Return a creature card from your graveyard. That part of it's probably the best part. I mean, yeah, gaining control of something with 2 converted mana. Like, I'd rather just pay the 5 mana and, like, Surveil 3 and bam! That's how we get our 6 mana Golgari spell onto the battlefield. I mean, you're going to Surveil 3, throw some shit into the graveyard, and then you get your creature back, your 2/3 that makes a bunch of insects and stuff like that. Yeah, this card's good. I mean, it's one-shot Liliana. So, right, it's no Liliana. It's no repeat, but it's a one-shot Liliana. Liliana's neg ability. You're right, it's no Lily, but I think this card's okay. I mean, we were looking for ways to cheat some stuff back into play, so yeah, that's exactly what it is. This is how you're probably going to do it. So the next one here, it's either 2 mana or 5 mana. So if we cast the 2 mana side, we surveil 2, then draw a card. Is that half sorcery? That's the sorcery half. The draw card is sorcery. The instant speed half of it, each opponent returns a non-land permanent they control with the highest converted mana cost among permanents they control to its owner's hand. Then discards a card. It's each opponent, so it'll be decent in, you know, in like multiplayer and stuff. But so the biggest thing you got, put it back in your hand, and if you don't have another card, you're going to discard it. I mean, this only gives you a creature back, so I don't know. It's okay. Alright, so copy target instant or sorcery. We converted mana cost 4 or less. You may choose new targets for the copy. Explosion deals X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards. Huh. That's okay. Like, I'm not, like, impressed. Like, so far I'm impressed by the 5 mana sorcery speed, bring anything back, and Surveil 3. But everything else, they're okay. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, alright, that's okay for sorcery speed, 2 mana. So just get 2 creatures back from your graveyard to your hand. And then for 6 mana, you may put 2 +1/1 counters on a creature you control. Then creatures you control get Then all creatures get -4/-4. Oh, is that going to be a necessary evil? A 6-mana board wipe? Yeah, this the expansion explosion is instant speed on both. So I mean, you do instant. You have to have instant speed on copy target instant or sorcery spells. So yeah, that you're instant there. You're just copying, and then of course explosion's going to deal X damage to any target. Target player draws X cards. So the this card's pretty decent. I mean, it's a bipedal Sphinx's tutelage, so I mean you got to pay 4 mana, then X mana. But the good part about it, if you've got like a 1,000-year storm going on, you could possibly make a copy or two of this. Might be something worth looking at. Yeah, the Izzet one's not bad. The Find Finality, that one's okay as well. I mean, I don't know if 6 mana is where I want to be for a Languish. Yeah, I get to pick two of my I get to put two 1/1 counters on a creature, so I might be able to make one creature survive through my Languish. But I don't know if I want to pay 6 mana for a Languish. It may be necessary, though. I mean, there's a lot of times we play cards that aren't just the greatest thing in the world because that's the necessary evil. That's the card that we need. So, that it might get some play. All right, so here we've got 1 mana sorcery, the flower part, and we got flower and flourish. So a 1 mana or a 6 mana spell. Search your library for a basic forest or plains, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. Or creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. I expect that flower will get some play. You just go get a forest. Bam. I just need a land, man. Bam. I'm just going to go get a land. And then, of course, if you draw one late game and you don't need a land anymore, you can just pay the 6 mana and just give yourself a double Anthem. That's probably not bad. I like the fact that it's real cheap to just go get a land, right? But if you're in the late game and you can pay 6 mana, you probably don't need land, so you don't need the first half, which makes the second half. So if you top deck this late, it's probably relevant. So I mean, I think the design on that card's probably pretty good. And then here we've got Integrity Intervention. Alright, so we've got a 1 mana Boros or a 4 mana Boros. So target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn, instant speed, or it deals 3 damage to any target and you gain 3 life. So 4 mana Lightning Helix or a 1 mana buff. Like we were looking for pump spells for our mentor creatures earlier. So, before we actually declare attack with them, we can go ahead and mentor them or pump them up with something like this. So that seems relevant. Integrity Intervention. That card probably will get a little bit of play. All right, so Invert Invent, right? Is that right? Invert Invent. Instant. So switch the power and toughness. So switcheroo on up to 2 target creatures. And then search your library for an instant card or a sorcery card. Reveal them and or a sorcery card. Reveal them, put them into your hand, shuffle your library. Okay, so end of your turn, I'm going to just go get the 2 combo pieces I need. So this is kind of like Gifts Ungiven or something like that. I need these 2 instant sorceries to be able to make things happen. It's probably really good. I actually think that'll get more play than the switcheroo part of it. I mean, you can kill... This kills, walls. 0/4 and 0/5 walls. I mean, you can kill them. Response Resurgence? Is that right? Resurgence. Alright. First half's an instant. Second half is a sorcery here. We've got a 2 mana and a 5 mana. I'm just trying to get through these guys. Response deals 5 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. Yeah, okay. 5 damage is a lot. And that just seems like something that like you could run this half of it in an Izzet deck or something if you needed to. Instant speed, deal 5 damage to attacking or blocking creature. Creatures you control gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. So after this this main phase, there is an additional combat phase followed by an additional main phase. That could be good, especially if you've just like given yourself an extra turn. So you give yourself an extra turn with the Boros, like everything's going to gain indestructible, right? And I'm going to swing with all of those things. Now I'm going to take my extra turn, and during this turn, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get 2 combat steps. It's probably okay. Like that's probably kind of where you want to be, but if you got too much of this going on, how do you have enough creatures to make sure things happen? So I don't know if this works really well with the glory card or not, but it's probably not that bad. Status and statue. I think this is one of the first ones that were spoiled that everybody really liked. We got 1 mana for status. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains death touch until end of turn. This is the one everyone talked about with Goblin Chain Whirler, right? You can do it with Goblin Chain Whirler. You can do it with that giant that attacks. The giant attacks and deals 1 damage to everything. But if he somehow had death touch, he would wipe the board every time he attacked, right? So that's why I say we might see that giant get some play if somebody can find some way to break him or something like that. You know, some kind of Naya deck or something like that, you'd be able to play, you know, status in that deck. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains death touch. If Goblin Chain Whirler enters the battlefield, trigger on the stack, go ahead and, you know, pay 1 black or 1 green here and give Goblin Chain Whirler death touch. Goblin Chain Whirler deals 1 damage to each creature the opponent controls. You wipe the board. Goblin Chain Whirler wipes the board, so you know there's some stuff there. Or you can just pay 4 mana, destroy target artifact, creature, or enchantment. They're both instant. Like this card probably gets play. This card probably sees play. I mean, 4 mana, you artifact, creature, or enchantment. That's probably pretty good. And the real thing about it is, if things aren't really needing to be destroyed or exiled, this may actually get more play than Vraska's Contempt, right? I know that may sound like crazy to some of you guys, but it may happen. Like if we don't have, you know, cards that are coming back from the graveyard, if we don't have, you know, the Scarab God, we don't have indestructible creatures, things like that, we may not need to be exiling all the time, and destruction may just be enough. So if so, like, this would give you more variation in your decks than a Vraska's Contempt would. I know Vraska's Contempt is a great card, but if you guys remember when it came out, where everybody was like, holy crap, I gotta pay 4 mana for my kill spell? Whoa, what is going on? 4 mana for a kill spell. So, I guess this is okay. Like, I like the status and statue. Ral, Caller of Storms. This is like the Planeswalker deck. Planeswalker, right? Draw a card for a +1. So he's a 6 mana, 4 loyalty. +1 draw card, -2, deals 3 damage, divided as you choose amongst 1, 2, or 3 targets. That's probably not bad. -7, draw 7 cards. He deals 7 damage to each creature your opponent controls. Hell, that ain't horrible. If that's the Planeswalker deck, then Planeswalker decks are getting a little bit better. If he would have been a 5 loyalty, he might even been playable. Like, the -2's not bad. I mean, Lightning Bolt or Arc Lightning is not a bad spell, and +1 is just draw a card. So I mean, he could protect himself a little bit. His ultimate's kind of great. Draw 7 cards. He deals 7 damage to each creature. Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a callback to the Bolas. I mean, we all know that Ralzeric is Bolas's you know, red-blue Planeswalker, right? Yeah. He's got Tezzeret, Ralzeric, and he wanted what, Sarkhan? He wanted Sarkhan, and Sarkhan denied him. Sarkhan was going to be his red-black. Who's Bolas's red-black Planeswalker? Huh. I thought it was going to be Sarkhan, but huh. Whenever Ral's static... Okay, so Ral's Static Caster Is it Staticaster, Ral Staticaster, Vashino Warrior, Vashino Warrior, Trample 3/3. Holy shit! And is it spell with Trample? Okay. So when it attacks, if you control Ral Planeswalker, it gets +1/+1 for each card in your hand until end of turn. Well, ain't that cool? That's just cool. Let's read the 7 mana Vraska Regal Gorgon. 5 loyalty. You get to put a +1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. That creature gains menace until end of turn. That's crap. Destroy target creature. Okay. No restriction at least. Just -3 destroy target creature. And then if you happen to plus her and get her all the way to 10, each creature in your graveyard, for each creature in your graveyard, put a +1/1 counter on each creature you control. This is nowhere near as strong as the Planeswalker deck Ral. So, like as far as the Planeswalker deck, I'm going to give my vote to the Is It Planeswalker deck. So you know, if we play Planeswalker deck stuff, I want to be the Is It deck, right? Attendant of Vraska, she gets a 3 mana 3/3 instead of the 4 mana 3/3. When Attendant dies, if you control Vraska, you gain life equal to the Attendant's power. Yeah, even her little Vraska's dude sucks. 6 mana, destroy target creature. You gain life equal to its toughness. You may search your library and or graveyard for Vraska. I don't like the Golgari Planeswalker deck. I already like the Ralzeric Planeswalker deck. By the way, guys, the Planeswalker decks, I will probably play those at some point this season. So when the Planeswalker decks come out, I'm probably going to go ahead and purchase those. Just because I hate when someone uses a card that was only printed in the Planeswalker deck in a standard deck, and we can't hardly get those from manatraders. I am going to go ahead and try to purchase the Planeswalker decks, and I'll play both of those for you guys. So we'll get to look through those, and we'll have some fun with those. So, guys, that's colorless. We might have to do like another night and do colored. There were so many colored, or multicolored and stuff. And I did. I talked for like ever. It's already like 3 o'clock in the morning, 2:30. Right? The midnight stream went longer than the normal stream. So, and plus I got to get some sleep. I got some stuff planned tomorrow or today for my birthday. So we're going to have some fun doing that. Expect a long stream tonight. Expect me to get started a little bit earlier than normal. So yeah, I will. We will do another late night show later this week, and we'll cover the colored spells. I may break it up into some multi. I may do it. I may do it for Patreon, and we'll like do 5 separate videos. Just I get some time midday, just come in here and start covering the white ones, and we'll post them. We'll post those like for Patreon and let you guys look at them, and then like this weekend just make them all viable or make them all public. So we may do that for you guys, for you Patreon guys. But yeah, we'll cover the rest of the spoilers at a different time. If you guys want to hang out, play some Momir in standard later tonight, I'll get that up some point midday. But hey, thanks for all the birthday wishes, everyone hanging out with me for these hours and hours on end. That's right, I'm halfway to 66, James. Why do you keep trying to make me feel older? Why, James? You know I love you, bro. You know it. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here, and I'm gonna go ahead and probably relax, calm down, and start getting sleepy so I can go to sleep before like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm a night owl. I always worked night shift when I was working in the factory, so yeah, it's just part of me. I'm awake all night long. Anyway, guys, much love. I appreciate every one of you hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun to hang out. I hope you guys had a lot of fun here. So, Boros Spoons, like Bolus, wasn't able to find him. What are we talking about? Angrath becomes Boros' Rakdos Grunt. Oh, what if that would be okay. Angraff he just wanted to go home, right? Like Bolus won't be able to find him. All right, I get what you're saying. Guess it's possible. However, impression was a soft. Yeah, he was a softie at heart. He just wanted to go home to his wife and kids. Convince him to help. You guys are talking about the Bolus thing. He's a master manipulator. He might even get Lily to awaken some red magic in her. Oh, that would be creepy, considering I figured if Lily was anything, she was blue-black. Yeah, all of this is very interesting. But we know that Bolus has Tezzeret for his blue-black. We know he has Ralzeric for his red-blue. Yeah, and Sarkin was going to be the black-red planeswalker, but I don't know what came of that. So maybe Bolus just never gets his third planeswalker. I don't know. And then again, maybe we see Bolus's third planeswalker later. Either way, guys, that's the show for tonight. We'll cover the mono-colored cards later. I don't know when, but we'll cover those later. So, much love. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking. And we'll see you next time. Hey, for those still online, take a look at your deck for Sub Sunday. Yeah, everybody go over to the Reddit. Check out Sub Sunday. Ah, yeah, Ugin stopped that. All right. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. I know Vraska just currently worked for Bolus, so I don't know. Leaves a lot to speculation, right? Guys, thanks for hanging out. That's all I've got. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everyone.